Plenty Valley FM presents Sig's Flicks.
Yes, the big man is in the chair in the silver screen region. Good morning, Mr. Anderson.
Good morning, Bill, and I certainly enjoyed the sleep in this morning after the lack of daylight savings. Andy.
Oh, it gives you an extra hour now to watch the movies.
Exactly. Always time for more movies. But we got a couple of Oscar-nominated films today, and they are, how can I say, I'm getting an echo on this end.
Well.
Very harrowing. The word comes to mind, and it's of interest. Though some very well done films. Starting off with The Zone of Interest, which actually won the Best International Film at the Oscars recently, and I've been I mentioned last week that I would be going over this one again. So here we are, as promised, The Zone of Interest. Also later on, I want to talk about another wonderful film, which didn't win. It's still very good. Il Capitano, from Italian, from Italy. And there were several films there. But first starting off with Zone of Interest. And harrowing comes to mind yet again. This is a story of the family living quietly, happy families in a nice little house. Was Rudolf Hess during World War II, and his house and grounds, and living with his wife and 5 children. A very normal life, but he happens to be the commandant of the Auschwitz concentration camp in Poland, and this house is just on the other side of the wall of Auschwitz, and it's pretty harrowing what's over there. Now, you never see anyone from inside Auschwitz, but you certainly hear them. There are dogs barking, and you hear gunshots a few times, and orders delivered. Sometimes we have people screaming, and this is a pretty heavy film, as I said. Christian Friedel plays Rudolf Hess very well in this one, with a nice mullet haircut, actually. Pretty strange haircut. But this film goes through his life there and a little bit of the planning of the execution of the Jews in Auschwitz. Like the new incinerator system they have, the succession of things: burn, cool, unload, reload, repeat. It's pretty heavy duty, and they work on reducing the waste rather than talk about disposal of the humans. It's incredible. This is a German language film with English subtitles, and the English filmmaker Jonathan Glazer does a very good job on this. Once again, it won the Academy for Best International Film. And also, it won for Best Sound. It's just incredible sound. Not music necessarily, but the sound of the horrible things going on over the wall. Johnny Byrne, English sound designer, designed the sound for this one, and it rightfully won. And like, for example, the beginning, the opening title of Zone of Interest starts with just a blackout. Nothing's blank screen. You can hear a few things. And then gradually we come into the vision of the house and grounds, the swimming pool and a garden area with Hess and his wife, Sandra Hüller, who also is acting, famously so, in another very good film currently screening, Anatomy of a Fall, also Oscar-nominated. So she's definitely the German actress of the moment, and also their 5 children. So they've got a nice river setting, and they got a swimming pool, and things are lovely. But there's a concentration camp just next door. You can see the watchtowers and the barbed tower, and very ominously we have chimneys with our billowing smoke, and we know where that smoke is from. So he has a nice garden there, and there's vines in the wall to make it a bit homey. We have the young woman doing the household chores are local girls, and they say the Jews are actually on the other side of the wall. So we see the families going on. There's a little garden and things go happening, and they have diamonds and chocolates, actually for the gifts for the children. These are actually things taken from the Jews, and it's the whole idea is to kill the maximum number of Jews and still have enough slave labor for the camps. So it's a bit of a balance there. And as I say, Friedel is quite good at this, and things go well from there in the family, but not necessarily over the wall. And this is actually adapted from a Martin Amis 2014 novel, loosely adapted anyway, and it is a film which is, as I say once again, pretty harrowing. We don't actually see inside Auschwitz until a lot of the way through the film. We actually have a current day scene inside the Auschwitz Memorial and Museum, and that's the way that scene is presented. And when you see the film, is again, I'm sorry, it's very harrowing. So it's harrowing, it's uncomfortable, but it's a very well done film. Rightly won the best international film at the Oscars. Once again, Zone of Interest is of interest to you. Currently screening around Melbourneville.
Well, just looking at what went on there, and the actors must. How do they finish up after they do this type of acting and in this type of situation? It's as you said, it's a very harrowing film.
Question. Very good question. You don't hear about this, but occasionally we have actors. They are pretty affected by this. They're human beings as well. And we occasionally read of actors which are affected and sometimes traumatized by the role they play. They get into it. Sometimes method actors, Johnny Depp, for example, are in situations where they get right into the zone, right into the character, and they are definitely affected by this. Very true. And it takes a while to recover and get over it. But they are playing roles, and sometimes you've got to get right inside the character and go there. So, good point, Bill.
All right, we'll have a quick break and we'll come back with, is it Lo Capitano?
Il Capitano. Si.
Feeling angry? Stressed out? Drop into the Reach Out website at reachout.com.au and we'll help you let it all out. When times are tough, clear your head at reachout.com.au.
The best in local news. 88.6 Lonnie Valley FM.
I guess that was an appropriate announcement there after such a harrowing film.
Yeah. Now, the next one, also harrowing. Harrowing is the word of the day. Il Capitano. This film was brought to my attention by the film publicist, and she said this is a wonderful film. It should have won Best International Film for the Oscar. Can't wait to see it. I was looking forward to it. Il Capitano is an incredible film, once again, which is highly recommended for you to check out. And this one is directed and co-written by Italian filmmaker Matteo Garrone, and this one is actually mostly in the Senegalese language of Wolof, and so, but Garrone is Italian. He wrote the original script in Italian, and he translated it into French, which is understood by most of the Senegalese actors, and that's actually spoken in Wolof, the Senegalese language, with English subtitles, of course. But we have two teenagers in this film, Musaf, and we have also his cousin, Seydou, and they are talking about putting money away. They work in Senegal, in West Africa, and they want to leave their homeland and go to Europe and earn money as famous musicians. And they fantasize about English people, white people, asking for their autographs. They're only 16 years old, and it's pretty incredible the way they go through this, and it's just harrowing. When Seydou tells his mother what he wants to do, she warns him against it, saying there are dead bodies everywhere in the desert and in the sea. And he's a wide-eyed, enthusiastic teenager, and he jokes with her. Tells her he's only joking, but she suspected that's not true, and they go in the end. And they had put up with people smugglers and passport forgers and corrupt police and a trek across the Sahara Desert, mostly by Libyan port of Tripoli, and go to Italy by boat. And as you could goes from bad to worse, and it's incredible the way things happen. And we look at the plight of the asylum seekers, and it's incredible. You know, they're not actually fleeing government oppression or anything. They just want a better life in Europe, so they can send money back to their family. And it's a very human story, and we really care about these kids and what happens to them. As I say, it goes from bad to worse. Incredible, very good photography, especially in the Sahara Desert as they truck across. There's an amazing scene where he tries to save a woman who can't make any further, and she ends up floating above him while he's fantasizing about her later, while he's waiting for water. So, from Matteo Garrone, once again, very good filmmaker. They put up with the Libyan mafia when they're in Tripoli, and he ends up being the captain of the title of the boat, a very decrepit boat which goes across from Tripoli to Sicily. And whether they make it or not, see the film, see how you go. But it should have won, could have won the Best Doctor, but that went to Zone of Interest. So there you go. Once again, Il Capitano, recommended as well, Bill.
Two powerful stories.
Very, yeah. Now, just for a few minutes to go, and I want to let you know there's a new series, a new feature down at the Nova Cinema. They have double film Tuesdays, the final Tuesday of every month. They're taking a leaf from the book from down at the Astor in St. Kilda, where they're running double feature films. And you can see older films and see them all in one night. If you want a real glut, so you can do this. For example, you can see Alien and Aliens later this month. You can see things like Mad Max 2 and Fury Road playing together. Another one, which would be a very long night because it's a very long film in the first place, A Clockwork Orange, followed by Full Metal Jacket, the war film from Stanley Kubrick. So that's a very long night in July. If you want to do that, you can see Totally Amazed by Top Gun, followed by Top Gun Maverick. There's lots of films you can check out at the new double film Tuesdays, second Tuesdays every month.
That's the one in Carlton.
Down there, I'll be checking out a few of those myself, Bill.
Oh, well, you can never have withdrawal, can you?
No, never. Oh, so many films, so little time, as I often say.
You take your backpack and your food?
I take a little bit of a snack and a drink, I will be honest, yes.
Yeah.
The wonderful chuck top they have down there.
No, setting you back at all. That's why you go to the movies, just to get your choc top.
Oh, yeah, the movies is a mean to an end, yes.
All right, well, thank you very much for that today, Sig, and you'll be back next week with Thurston.
I shall. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, bye for now.